What's up, YouTube? All right, talk about a couple things. First, this book, my son, he got this for me. Y'all, you know I'm bad on camera, but there it is. It says, Dad, I want to hear your story. He got this for me for Father's Day. I'm going to kind of be all over the place for my three friends watching the video. First of all, I didn't call anybody for Father's Day, so happy Father's Day. I always call all my friends and great dads that I know, I always call them. But this year, I just called my dad. I'm going to call my dad. And then I got people calling me, so that was cool. But my son, he got me this book, Dad, I want to hear your story. So it's a cool book. It's by, let me see, the author is in here somewhere. His name is Jeffrey Mason. I don't know where he may have ordered this on Amazon. But the book, it's got a little, fill in the blank type stuff. It asks questions. I'm gonna do that because my son, he's been asking me to write a story about my life for years, and I think I should do that. I even had a session with a psychiatrist. I got PTSD. So he was like, you really should, your life should be a movie. When people tell you stuff like that, I know I'm not the only one, but it's like, man, maybe I really need to get my story out there. So anyway, I want to talk about, one of the things I want to talk about is what happened on June 18th, right? So I work for the government, I'll say that. June 18th, I'm at work, I'm in my office. And, I love Donald Trump. Definitely want to see him win this next election. And I realize all the things that surround that, right? But I'm listening to this guy across the hall who I believe is, definitely a Confederate flag type of dude, But he's listening to the news in his office. So the article is Sean Hannity, the segment, Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity said, I may get the number wrong, but it was like 89 or 84% of blacks polled were voting for Donald Trump. They was switching from Biden to Trump. I hope I'm looking right at the camera, because when I heard that, I was like, hell yeah. Yeah, shit made me feel good, but I'm working, I'm just listening. But when they said that, James, the guy, he turned his volume down because the word blacks in the office. I dug that, but I can still hear. So Hannity then said a little thing, whatever, and the segment went off. Everything was cool, I'm working. And James, he goes, yeah, they're finally learning to think for themselves. And I said, from my office, audibly, yeah, finally. Right? And he heard that and it got real quiet. So I was like, finally learning to think for ourselves? What the fuck? To me, I didn't know how to take it, right? So I sent an email. I'm going to leave the names out. I'm going to try to find this email, but because I want to find it, it's going to take forever. Some kind of bullshit, it's just every time you want to show somebody something, it's just a problem. So the email I sent, I'll read it and try to read it as fast as I can. I sent the email to our Civil Rights Division, HR, the Deputy Director, my boss, and my boss's boss. Like, send it to all these people. Because they just got on me at work saying that I think I can say whatever I want to say. And I have to be more thoughtful about how I say things. I don't agree. I think I'm very professional, but I don't let people say anything they want to say to me. There's a sense of entitlement. and people I don't think they realize it, especially in the South. You know, there's a different culture here where white people can they feel like this is their shit, and they say what they want. Their chest is poked out, and I'm from Redbird. I don't know what to say. I grew up in Jersey. We believe that we are there's some equality here. So you can't just walk around with your chest poked out with this bullshit, and we supposed to be like, for instance, I may have said this on another video. If you call me Benjamin, right? I'm not gonna call you Mr. Joe. Hey, Mr. Joe, good morning. Good morning, Ben. Fuck no. I'm calling you Joe. You call me Ben, I call you Joe. If I'm gonna call you Mr., I'm gonna say Mr. Williams. That's your last name, Mr. Williams. Mr. Joe is some other shit. That's not even proper. It's not professional. I don't know where it comes from, but I'm not doing that. But they do that here. Yes, sir, Mr. Joe. So anyway, I sent this email. Let me see. I'm gonna try to read fast. It says, "Hello. I think I'm just venting. A few moments ago, so and so, and he's a contractor, so I listed his organization, was sitting in his office watching the news. A segment came on about black voters. James turned the volume down, but I could still hear it. Pleasingly, the article was about black voters making the shift from Joe Biden to President Donald Trump. Yes, I said president because I fucking love Trump. He's a good guy. That's a whole nother story. Fuck what you say anyway, right? I was sitting in my office listening and smiling. The segment goes off, and James says, they're finally learning to think for themselves. Well, that part right there seemed like a gut punch. So I wasn't sure how to take it. It made me feel like he was talking about black people who weren't thinking for themselves up until this point. Maybe James is right. I don't know. But I can't process what he said or why it needed to be said. I feel uncomfortable, and I don't know exactly what to do about it. As I am sure you all know, I think for myself quite a bit. I'm not always right, but I do think for myself. There was someone present, and I mentioned that. That person that was present, when they said the 80-something%, he was like, wow. So he, because that was a large number. I didn't think it was that large myself. And James Hannity could be lying. But when dude said that they thinking for themselves, that person, he didn't say anything. So when the report said 84% of black people polled were choosing President Donald Trump over Joe Biden, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, this is me thinking for myself sending this email. So I sent that. 5 minutes later, the one person I didn't send it to was James's boss, who's a colleague of mine. He comes into my office, he goes, shuts my door, he goes, hey man, how you want to handle this? What do you want to happen? I said, what are you talking about? Because it was so fast, that he was in my office. I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, the email you just sent. I said, you got that email? He said, yeah, they just sent it to me, on his boss. So I didn't think about that. I said, I don't want nothing to happen, man. I'm just venting. I'm looking at, what is it on? Is that gray hair? Damn. I'm just venting. You know what I'm saying? That's what I told my man. I'm just venting. I had to get it off my chest. He said, well, something's got to happen, man. I said, well, I'm not looking for any sort of disciplinary action. I just was trying to get this, off of my chest. He goes in there and says what he says to James. James is hot. He's hot. James tells him, well, he's in there, he's watching, he's doing the news too, and I can hear him. And what I like is what his boss told him. This made me feel good, because that guy is a contractor for a state agency, right? He tells him, well, he's a state employee, and you're a contractor. You can't do what he does. That shit right there, because since I've been working there, I am, they're the fucking help, but they always try to make me feel less. You know what I'm saying? Well, he came to me one day and was like, hey, I need you to keep this. The way he just toned and shit, I said, hey, man, who you think you talking to? You work for me. I don't work for you. I have to, and I'm the only melanated person there, right? And I've had to do this many times. To tell these people, yo, who you think you're talking to? Don't talk to me like that. You know, you could request something, you could ask something. You don't have any authority to tell me anything. There's a chain of command. It's very kind of military there, it's structured. But I got people that do shit like I've heard nigga at work, nothing happened. Just little side shit, little racist shit, man. So that right there happened on June 18th. June 19th was the next day, which I took off. And, you know, here I'm in Florida now, and they don't fuck with Juneteenth. At the Governor DeSantis, who is my boss, he don't fuck with Juneteenth. He ain't, you know, he ain't got nothing good to say about it. Ain't no acknowledgement or whatever, you know. And I know this is complicated. I like Ron DeSantis as an American. As an American, I like Ron DeSantis. As a melanated person, he is scary. Very scary. But at the end of the day, I would rather be an American under Ron DeSantis than heralding my melanin under motherfucking any other Democratic policies. So let's get into that real quick. I'm at 11 minutes. Damn, I don't feel like I'm even saying what I want to say. But I believe that, you know, our people have been disenfranchised. All this stuff has happened, and we've had to fight extra hard. And now our so-called race is fucked up. We got a lot of cleaning house to do that ain't happening. You know, I keep turning on the news and all this rap shit. There's a dude right now in Atlanta on trial, right? He on trial. This guy used to wear a dress. It's a man. He wore a fucking dress. He's a gangster dress wearing man, right? So he's on trial for like murder, drugs, like some destruction of the community type shit. But he's like the victim now, and I'm so like, we don't have no justice, man. Our heroes is all fucked up, you know. I guess I brought that up because that's nationwide. All of the people that we hold high is like they either homosexuals wearing dresses, you know, gangsters, murderers, drug dealers, something that will destroy us as a people. But that's what we, you know, and I got to be careful because I know YouTube, I just came off of over 10 years of, you couldn't even see my comments on YouTube. Somehow or another, they done let me back in. So I want to be careful how I and what I say. But the Democratic Party, the donkeys, right? They will let in that, the cross-dressing, any kind of other alternative lifestyle. That's cool. They will fight. You're going to get funding. You're going to get money. You know, they send billions of dollars to foreign nations to help them out. But you, as a so-called black person, you're not getting shit from the Democrats. Nothing. They going to talk a good talk, but they ain't going to give you nothing. Joe Biden is the only president besides Lyndon Johnson that I know of that I've ever heard say nigga. Straight up said that shit 3 times. Ain't no evidence of Trump saying that. There's talk, but I'm waiting on somebody to post a link, give me an article. The man, you can't find it. And all of our lives, I grew up in Jersey, like I said, Trump was cool to month. People used to go to Jersey and see Trump all the time. You know, he never became this racist person until he ran for president and left the Democratic Party. The Democrats, in my opinion, are dangerous to us. They want us dead. They've been trying to destroy us since the Civil War. You know, this man who said that we finally learning to think for ourselves is heralding a mentality from over 200 years ago that we should be in chains. That when you see that Confederate flag, what that flag is saying is that we should have never been free. We're not equal and we're not independent. We are like somebody went to a cow pasture and let the cows out. Who let the cows out? We just property running loose is what that Confederate flag means. It doesn't mean freedom, equality, justice, none of that. And we don't even really get that under, you know, our own flag. But I'm an American. I'm a citizen. This is my country. And I don't have no other country to go to. I ain't running the continent called Africa to none of them countries over there because I already know. And they ain't messing with no light skinned brothers anyway. All right, 15 minutes. I still feel like I haven't said a lot. Just venting, telling you about what's going on with Juneteenth, with racism and white supremacy in America. And I honestly, y'all, I don't know exactly what to do because I got to keep pushing. You know, I don't want to have to work in an environment where I'm surrounded by racists and hateful people who have these ideologies about me. So pray for me, man, that I can get my entrepreneurial mindset together, and I'm in a new state, so I'm still learning the state, but I can get out here and get something going for myself where I'm free to move around and do the things I want to do. Or either I hit the lottery. That ain't happening, but anyway, that is my 15 minutes, 16 even. I think I said everything. I haven't left nothing out. I feel like I should have been more concise, but I just made this video. Get it off my chest. That's going to be it. Thank you. Shalom.